Good evening. Coming in, I'm coming in, I'm coming in. Welcome. How are you all doing today? Blessed is the name of the Lord. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Ebony, Corindus, Dixie, I see y'all coming in. Reverend Ron. Lana, welcome. Ashley, Gwen Molden. Okay, thank you very much. I see the thumbs. They're coming in. Appreciate y'all. Let's get it together in here tonight. How was your day? Good evening. See if I can work this out. All right, now I'm getting somewhere. Let's see. I couldn't stop thinking about who I am. Well. Good evening, Mandy, Manuel, Elsie, Brandell, Kiba, Jeanette, Chevelle, Cherie, Mike Tate, and Carol and Tasha. Welcome. How art thou? How y'all doing this evening? Thank you, Lulu. I'm glad you started it out right. Good day to focus on who I am. Very good, Sandra. Brittany, welcome. Coach Latanya, Camille, Chevelle, Gisela, welcome. I'm trying to get this post up here. There you go. Ready to hear more. Welcome, Angela Copeland, Crystal, Leah, Nicole, welcome. Carolyn, welcome. Welcome. Let's see what we have here. Looks like I'm getting it better tonight. All right. I thank everyone for the compliments that I had gotten on between last night and this morning. They said the audio and visual is better than it's ever been in all our 6 years. So thank God that we were able to get somewhere with our technology. How do I get the assessment? Real good question, Crystal. Crystal Ruth Baby Ellison. Have you registered? If you registered, you are going to automatically get everything that I mentioned on here. How do you do that? You can go to my website, www.suzannemhoward.com. And on the first page, you see register, or as Joy Nolan says it, register. And when you hit register, a link will come up for you to RSVP. You fill out your information and you will automatically get every link that I mentioned on here. It will be automatic for you. Same thing for you, Simone. Same thing for you, Tori. You can go on to our group page for So Detox, and you as well, Tanisha. You registered, Tori. Okay, so go on to the group page. And if you go onto the group page, you will automatically see the on our group forum, the information. The link for the assessment. I registered. Should I do it again? No, Shalena, no reason to do that again. Go to the group page. I'm going to sign in and pretend that I'm y'all. I'm going to go to www.suzannemhoward.com. As a matter of fact, you probably can only do it from your Wix app. Have you all signed in the Wix app? going from your telephone. Let's do it that way. I'll do it with you right here live tonight before we get started. And you have your phone, right? You see Wix. You should have Wix, or you should have a blue one probably that says Spaces. Once you've set up a member profile, you'll have one that says Spaces. Let me get it to show it with my background here. It's coming up. There we go. And then once you get it to show on here, you will go across to group. It's the second line. Can't really get it to show up too good on here for you, but it's the second line. And then group, so Detox 2022. Ashley knows it very good. It's easier from the phone. Absolutely. Is the Spaces app. Yes, Renee, that's it right there. So once you get the link, you'll go on and you'll register for the event. And then you'll get an invitation from me to set up a page, to set up a member profile. And once you set up a member profile, it gives me permission to contact you with certain events. Maybe we're going to have a So Detox 2022 launch party or a lunch going, or if I have a free ebook I want to send out, I will automatically be able to contact you and get you the information. So go on and sign up for your free membership. Put your name, your name, email, date of birth, and I can have permission to contact you, and then I can send you links and such as that. Right now, I'm just approving you, Cheryl Brown. God bless you. And you should be approved now. And now you will have the Wix app to download and go to the second link on the Wix app. I wish I can get it to show up a little bit better here for you, but I'm sure Ebony will. And I want to just now thank Saza for subscribing to my YouTube page. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube page, can you please do that? Go and subscribe to my YouTube page, please, 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 please. It helps me out in so many different ways. And it gets this out to a lot of people who are home and suffering right now. People who are in what they believe is seasonal depression. People who are suffering loneliness or going through this season of a breakup all by themselves. And people have come across my page with comments like that and how we got them through such a rough time. And they subscribed to the group page and they were in group conversations with some of y'all they never met, but you have blessed their soul. Crystal, I just approved you and sent you a link to membership so you can get all the assessments and all that as well. If you can't have any more problems, very good. If you have any more problems, just send an email to us and we'll get you set up right away. We do understand that not everyone is tech savvy, so we work out certain extra steps just for you because we understand that not everyone is tech savvy. I'm hoping that you all will get there because it is very important in this technological world that we're going into. Pretty soon, we're all going to be so familiar with the metaverse. It's not going to be a, what is this thing? Or I don't want anything to do with this thing. You're going to be so easily maneuvering around the metaverse. Things are changing. So it's very important for your life. It's very important for you to get involved in technology. If you plan on living, and I believe you have, if you plan on living, you need to get tech savvy, and we can help you with that. We don't have a problem helping you with it. People call us for help with their own technical issues, and we help them with their own technical issues. It has nothing to do with our websites or anything that we're doing, things that they're doing in their life, going back to school, something with their job. We have no problem helping people with it because I love, 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 love technology. I want to thank Carla R. I'm not going to say your full name, but I want to thank Carla R. for purchasing her copy of Group Therapy 2021. Self-esteem, very important. And we're actually going to talk about that for a little bit tonight. So you're going to be real excited when you get your book. Very good. Prudence G says she has her book. Beautiful. I want to thank you to Ashley and Anna for sending in $10 Cash App donation last night thanking me for their therapy session. God bless you. And I thank you for blessing this ministry. You all said how much the audio and visual has been better this year. And it's really because of the donations that come in. I was able to update my equipment, and I think I might have finally gotten the right thing. I have probably 4 cameras in here, probably 6 microphones, and I can finally say goodbye to most of them because I think I found the right thing. This Zoom mic seems to really give me that podcast sound that I was looking for. Let's continue getting some of the business ticks out of the way so we can jump into our private session tonight. Good. I don't want to hit that by mistake. If you listen to podcasts, you can also find all of these, I don't want to call them teachings and trainings, all of these mental health sessions, all of our coaching sessions that we are in every night together. You can find them wherever you listen to your podcast. We are on Audible. We are on Amazon, Google, iTunes, Spotify, on all of the platforms for podcasts. Wherever you get your podcast from, are you doing your 30 for 30? If you were with me last year, we incorporated a health factor because mental health is wealth. Physical health is wealth. You will not be able to enjoy any wealth in life without mental and physical well-being. So we were doing our 30 for 30 last year. And I'm going to ask y'all to start that again. Let's get out there. Let's walk for 30 minutes for 30 days. Let's get our mental clarity back intact. And let's get our physical body sweating up a little bit and get our heart rate up a little bit. It's so healthy for us. So start your 30 for 30 again. Once you join the Wix app and you get a part of the group page, send in a picture of you doing your 30 for 30. Send in a picture of you explaining how you're feeling from the night session, or write your latest takeaway. Some people are on there asking where do they find the videos to replay them again so that they can actually take notes, because they don't take them when they're live because they don't want to miss anything. And y'all are all answering each other and telling each other where to find information, what was actually said, clarifying matters and definitions. So take the time and help each other out. Join So Detox 2022 group page. And those are just some of the things that we set up. Morgan Love, if you sign up to the, matter of fact, you should be on it right now, because I believe you just inboxed me from the post page. And you did. So the assessment is posted right on that page. I'm going to answer you clearer, Morgan. If you don't find it before we hang up, we'll make sure we answer you when we get off this live tonight. And welcome, Morgan. I'm glad you're with us. Bless God for people who are very interested in themselves and not just everyone else. Taking care of everyone, right? All right. Yeah. Amen. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I submitted mines. Good, good, good. Just send them in and we will get back to you with the information. We gave it real simple information. We just basically re-asked the questions that were asked last night to you. I'll take a minute and give you that again so that we can just jump into it. It's probably going to be part of the lesson tonight anyway, just a rehash of it. But the assessments was asking you, who are you? And I believe many of you found out, I don't know. But it's funny how we will make arguments for things or have no say so at all, be very passive about our life, be very passive about our needs, very passive about our wants. And it's mainly the contributing factor is because you don't know who you are. And so for you, if that's you, my goal for you as your personal online coach this month, my goal for you is not this year, not in 9 months, not in 6 months, not even in 3 months. My goal for you in these, we have 28 days left, is for you to find out who you are. You are going to leave here from this 30-day session time that we have together, and you are going to be able to speak who you are. And wonderfully, as you evolve and transform into a greater human being, a greater woman or a greater man, a stronger individual, you are going to expand your territories and find out so much more about yourself. But before you leave here, if you struggle with that who I am question, I want you to let me know it. State it. You can put it in the chat, or more personally, put it in an email to me. Info at SuzanneMHoward.com. And I would like to personally check in with you at the end of the 30 days to find out if you can answer that question. As a matter of fact, when I call you, all I'm going to say is, who are you? And I want you to be able to tell me who you are. So the assessment that went out was asking, who are you? So it was asking it subjectively. So who am I? What do I want now or in the future? I would prefer that you would answer both of those questions. What should I do next? That's part of your assessment, because this is actually what we set up in mental health coaching to give you a direction and a guide to show you how on track you are, sometimes to remind you why you are going through this, because you'll be wanting to pull your hair out, very frustrated, life coming against everything that we're working on. And we'll simply remind you, wait a minute, you said this is what you wanted in your future. This is what you're working on. So this is what we have to do next. And it also shows you progress, and it also keeps you as a guide on focus and on target to what you want to do. It's amazing that sometimes we need help staying on purpose, staying focused on purpose to what we know we want and want to do with our life. But we can help so many other people accomplish great things. What do I think about self-awareness was the part of the assessment as well. What do I think about self-awareness? And not so much like, I don't think it exists. I think it's too deep psychologically. I think that's for those other people. What do I feel about being self-aware? I feel that at this age in my life, this stage in my life, or during this 30-day process in my life, I want to discover more about me. Or I'm afraid to find out who I am. Or I always thought that I was just his child or her child, and I'm beginning to feel joy in discovering who I am. What do you think about being self-aware? And then specifically by time, real time, the last question on the assessment was, how do I feel right now? When you hit the link to send in that Google assessment back to us, right at that moment, how are you feeling? Nervous, afraid, excited, sad, poor self-image, whatever. How are you feeling right now? Those are the questions on the assessment. And they were going to help you out to become the greater person that God has had for you to be. Yep, afraid sometimes, I know. And you came a very, very long way, Gwen, with those fears. And I'm proud of you. Not knowing who you are causes you to be passive. In my case, always making sure my first impression of self to be one of kindness or shyness. Interesting. Interesting. I'm just reading your comments. I submitted my assessment, something really to take a look at and ponder. And yes, Ashley, I want you to do 30 for 30 again. Yes, Cynthia Franklin, I am. Unfortunately, I've been under the weather since last Tuesday, so I haven't been able to do 3 steps for 3 minutes, but I'm getting my energy back. I'm getting my physical capabilities back. I had planned on going today, but today was not a good day. Today was just a exhausting day, a day that I had to really pull energy from other sources to get it done. But I am definitely going to get myself back out there, and I'm going to take pictures and a video, and I'm going to encourage everyone that I can. Thank you, Kiba. She says she just submitted hers. Elsie submitted hers. I love that you have a podcast. Thank you, Shalena. And I love it as well, because when I'm doing my 30 for 30, when I'm walking, I put my ears in. I don't have to watch YouTube. I can put it right in my pocket while I'm walking. And a lot of people have been asking about these jerseys that I'm wearing. They were made specifically for me. See if I can just show you a little bit. They were made specifically for me as a Christmas present from a spiritual daughter of mine. She made me a week's worth of sets, and the material is just beautiful. Oh my God, it feels so good. And she made me pants to go with them. I just threw the shirt on tonight to come on live. So tomorrow, if you see me out in public and you see me with the set on, it's because I didn't wear the whole set, but I'm going to put it on tomorrow if I get outside and take a little walk. So I think that answers all of our questions. We're on podcast every single night. We are live on YouTube and Facebook, but we are also, all the replays are on YouTube. And if you look by year, they are all in a row by year. And you can go back all 6 years to when we first started. Love the colors, beautiful jerseys. I love the shirt. Yep. Audacity. Devin Stoner made them for me. Yes, Latrice, exactly what I said. I hope she's ready to take orders. And she's a little brat. So she says to me, nope, they're only for you. They're going to have to buy them off your back then because I'm not doing it. And I said, yes, you will. So we're going to get some colors as well. I love them and the colors. Yes. For the podcast, do I search So Detox? No, Shalena, you can search my name, Suzanne M. Howard. I think it's just plain Suzanne M. Howard. And you'll find it on all of them. Corinda said she knew it. Yeah, she's probably your twin, Corinda's. That's exactly what I do. When I walk, I listen. Good. Pastor D is going to pull Devin in. She's going to use her pastoral love heart. Welcome, Katrina. I love your picture there. Good to see you. All right. Couple things I want to get into. If you have not had the opportunity yet, you can go online, and I recommend that you purchase your copy of Group Therapy. There's some pastors coming out now with books called Group Therapy. I'm trying to figure out where the camera is so I can get it. There we go. But we started ours first, Group Therapy, Self-Esteem, and I help minister and coach you through self-esteem. Most people think that they're born with it, but it is interesting to know that through childhood life up through the years of 6 to 8 years of age, self-esteem is either established or taken from us, one or the other. And so you spend life with a coach like me, and we help you get your self-esteem back up. It's my first book. I have 3 other books that are written, and I hope to get with my publisher this week to get one out. I would love to get it out in the next 2 weeks because we're actually using it in here with self-awareness. And I would love for y'all to have it before we get offline in 30 days. And the way they're publishing books nowadays, self-publishing, you can get it on Amazon tonight. So also we have the notebooks. These are good for writing anything. I take all my classes and whatnot in these, you see. But I think these are, I just got to find my camera, hang in. I think these are $5 and you can purchase these and they're good for journaling. I'm not going to be able to get it, I guess, but they're good for journaling. And if you go onto the website, www.suzannemhoward.com, you will find the notebook, spiral notebook, journal, and book, and purchase yours. And lastly, if you have not subscribed to our magazine, this is what's coming in your mailbox. You should probably have it coming out probably by the end of this weekend through next week. For those that have subscribed and kept their subscriptions, our magazine is out, and I actually want to do a teaching from one of my articles in here. Start Healthy is the name of the magazine. For a year's subscription, it's $24. If you can't afford $24, but you want the magazine over time, you can subscribe to a monthly subscription. I think it's $2 a month, or just pay the $24 up front. And 6 times a year, you will get this beautiful magazine in there. You'll get a beautiful letter from me inscribed and what we're working on, what we're doing. There's recipes in here. There's mentions on how to eat well, how to live happy and healthy. And this is the article that I really want to talk to us about. But I may not do it at night. I may come on in the morning and do it. And it's called, If You Try to Please All, You Please None. If you try to please all, you please none. And this is something that a lot of us battle with, and I want to help you with it. I want to help get it up here, first of all, but my girls will do it. They'll get it up here one way or the other. So again, it's all on my website, on the page that says shop, $24 a year. The book is $19.99, and the notebook journal is, I think it's $5. If I'm wrong, don't kill me, but we'll get it to you. And if you do your assessments and do your work really well, if you know anything about me, I like to give things away. So we'll have ways that you can even be given the notebooks. I have my book, notebook, and subscription to the magazine. Good girl. If you try to please all, you please none. You got it, mama. If you try to please all, Dajane, you please none. Yes, Ashley, we'll bring back soul bucks where you can earn soul bucks. All right. What I want to do, because a lot of the feedback that I had gotten was, I don't know who I am. Or maybe I do, but I've never been asked that question. So I don't know how to answer it. So many of you were like, I don't know if I can take the assessment. I don't know if I should take it and skip the first question because I don't know how to answer it. Corinda's, you're going to be my voiceover for my audio version of the book. That's our agreement, right? If you try to please all, you please none. Absolutely. So if you have been in group therapy with any of our coaches, again, I want to thank God for our administrative assistant, which we call our solutionist secretary, Ebony Rose. We want to thank her for all her administrative work. She does all of the assessments for me, sometimes with minutes or seconds notice, and gets them online to you all here. She responds to the emails. If you have any problems at all, she is the one to solve the problem. She is a solutionist woman. She has the solution to the problem. She will figure it out and get back to you. Once you've crossed that line and you're dealing with your coaches, we have beautiful Prophet Latanya's face already shown on the screen. And she's there to help with so many of the things that you would have regarding questions on your assessment. How do you find this out? How do I work this question out? Anything like that. And then you have Pastor Maria. She's another coach that we have working with us here, and they're trained in specific areas, not all yet, but in specific areas. And those are the people that I refer to them under my guidance. And I don't see beautiful Pastor Maria's face on any of his recent comments as I scroll, but I know she's in here. And also Reverend Ron, he's decided to show his, I can't say the name because then I'll be sinning against my husband, but he's decided to show his sports team up here instead of his beautiful face. But he's also helping out and coaching any of the men who want to connect in the male form. Thank you. Prophet Erica said, signed up, form filled out, and ready to go. So who am I? Who am I? Who am I? How do I begin to answer a question like that? Who am I? In psychology, it's said that we are normally one person when we wake up in the morning and a different person when we hang up at night. Isn't that interesting? Who am I? Do I really see my granddaughter on here? Hi, Peyton. Amen. Let me check the time. Okay. Yes. Hi, Peyton. So let's talk about diving into that question before we go in. As a matter of fact, for the recording, for the podcast, all of this business part that we have to go through, I cut all that out. Also, we're on Instagram now. Last night's session is on Instagram as well now. You can tell your friends who don't like YouTube or Facebook. Most people don't like Facebook, but not YouTube. YouTube gets a good following. That's why we stay on YouTube. But we're also up on Instagram. And as I was saying, on the podcast and for Instagram, we cut out all of this business portion and we just get right to the meat and the bones of it. So I'm going to go ahead and do my professional spiel. And then I want to help you understand through group therapy. You can take a second if you want to and run and grab your copy because you're going to want to write in your book so that I can help you do step 1 in discovering and uncovering who I am. I'm going to help you through self-esteem book tonight, chapter 1. So if you have to run and get it now while I do my opening spiel. Welcome to So Detox 2022, where we are self-aware or becoming self-aware. I am your host, Apostle Dr. Suzanne Howard. I am not a therapist. I am a board certified mental health life coach through the American Association of Christian Counselors. We are here every year. This has been our 6th year where we give away 30 hours plus of wisdom and forward movement of life transition through life coaching. This year's session is about becoming self-aware. To know thyself is the beginning of wisdom, said Socrates. Do you want to be happier and have more influence, be a better decision maker, and be a more effective leader? Self-awareness then is the most important muscle you need to develop. It's what will keep you on target to be the best version of yourself and the best version of a leader that you can be. On a scale from 1 to 10, I'd like to ask, how self-aware are you? If you don't know how to answer the question, you aren't alone. One study actually estimates that between 10 to 15% of people are truly self-aware. If self-awareness is so important, why do so many people struggle with it, let alone understand what it means? A big reason is that we live in a world where we are conditioned to operate on autopilot. Autopilot. This is a busy mindset that doesn't leave room for much self-reflection and introspection. By not taking the time to connect with ourselves, we stop paying attention to what is going on internally. As you can imagine, this can be a recipe for emotional disaster. Self-awareness is one of the pivotal life skills. Imagine yourself being a lovely flower with a wonderful fragrance, but you don't even realize how beautiful or the scent that you illuminate from yourself every day. How can this person lead their life not knowing who they are, how beautiful they are, and what they bring? How different could your life be if you were aware of your beauty, of your essence, of your aroma? This is the role of self-awareness in our lives, to teach us our hidden reality. Unfortunately, not everyone cares about this issue because only a few realize its importance, and most of us focus on others rather than ourselves. Self-awareness is the foundation for personal growth. It involves understanding your own needs, desires, failings, habits, and everything that makes you tick. If you want to strive to be a better person, you need to get intimate with yourself, meaning you've got to know who you are and who you are not. Moreover, you've got to be able to accurately monitor your inner world, as well as accept who you are with an open heart. And this is where a lot of people get stuck. It takes courage to go deep within yourself and to look at messy emotions that don't necessarily want you to acknowledge them, let alone work on them. Let's face it, growth isn't always pretty. It sometimes feels like an uphill climb. However, it is the one thing that is required if you want to level up your life and become more of who you really want to be. So how well do you know yourself? Welcome to 30 days of Soul Detox. And I'm going to start tonight with how well do you know yourself? If you're like most people, you're probably familiar with the basics. You like this, hate that, and you have a knack for certain skills. But what about your behaviors and thoughts and how they affect your life? You know, the deep stuff. That's where self-awareness comes in. So, what is self-awareness? Simply put, it is the act and process of observing yourself and how you interact with your environment, including situations with other people. It involves noticing and acknowledging how things impact you and vice versa. In other words, it is the interactive, two-way process of noticing influence and impact. Self-awareness is the ability to focus on yourself and how your actions, thoughts, or emotions do or don't align with your internal standards. Did you know you had internal standards? If you're highly self-aware, you can objectively evaluate yourself, manage your emotions, align your behavior with your values, and understand correctly how others perceive you, all within a matter of seconds. At its basic level, self-awareness is the ability to understand that the self is separate from others. However, to be self-aware, a person must be able to recognize and label their feelings, thoughts, and behaviors. You can't say, I don't know. You can't say whatever you want. You have to be able to label feelings, thoughts, and behaviors. Excuse me. If a person is self-aware, they can assess their physical, mental, and emotional states and understand there are various aspects of their internal personality that allow them to interact with the external world. At its core, self-awareness showcases that a person is separate from others regarding thoughts, wants, and needs. And yet, some of us in life feel guilty because people don't allow us to be separate from them in thoughts, wants, and needs. And you must know that. You have a right to be separate from them, other from them in thoughts, wants, and needs. No one's thoughts, wants, and needs should overshadow yours or usurp yours. God has given you as a human being, an individual, thoughts, wants, and needs that are different from your spouse, your children, even the tree that you came from. On a broader scale, self-awareness allows a person to answer the following questions. Who am I? What do I want now and in my future? What should I do next? What do I think about self-awareness? And how do I feel at any given moment? If a person can answer these questions, it shows they are self-aware because they understand their physical and emotional needs in connection to the world around them. Being able to answer these questions encompasses the self-awareness definition and the self-awareness meaning. Self-awareness is about looking at who you are in a way that acknowledges how you impact others. Did you know that you even impact other people? But self-awareness also has the influence side in determining how people impact you. It also involves understanding your emotions and internal narrative, allowing you to lead a fulfilling life. You matter. It's the first step to changing and growing. Simply put, those who are highly self-aware can interpret their actions and feelings and thoughts objectively. It's a rare skill, as many of us spiral into emotion-driven interpretations of our circumstances. Developing self-awareness is important. Say that. Type that. Developing self-awareness is important. That's why I'm here. This is why I'm committed to 30 days. Developing self-awareness is important because it allows me to assess my growth and effectiveness and change course when necessary. Self-awareness is being aware of oneself. That includes my traits, my feelings, and my behavior. It is quite difficult in today's time to find time to think about who you are. What are your strengths and weaknesses? What is your personality, your habits, and your values? Besides, many of us are not just inclined to spend much time on self-reflection. Consequently, due to that, many of us have a low level of self-awareness because self-awareness is an essential first step towards maximizing management skills. It can improve our judgment and help us identify opportunities for professional development and personal growth. So where are we now in all of this? On day 2, we're going to talk about key areas for self-awareness, which include our personality traits, personal values, habits, emotions, and psychological needs. Whew, that was a lot. Go ahead and exhale. There are key areas for self-awareness, and they include personality traits, personal values, habits, emotions, and psychological needs. So when we begin to ask the question, who am I? Let's grab the book and let's open the book to chapter 1. For those that are with me as clients, we've started this section already. Some of us have finished it and some of us are still deep in it. Some of us are 3 months in chapter 1. Chapter 1 that can be read. To be exact, chapter 1 is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's 4 pages and can probably be read in 3 minutes, but you can spend 3 months on chapter 1. Why is that? Because it starts to deal with what is self-esteem. What are the things that have affected my self-esteem? Let me read this to you. Chapter 1, what is self-esteem? We're still in our self-awareness therapy session. We all know that self-esteem can be an important part of success. Too little self-esteem can leave people feeling defeated or depressed. Does that identify with anyone here? It can also lead people to make bad choices, fall into destructive relationships, or fail to live up to their full potential. This is where, if we are in session together, I would have you right here from page 9, chapter 1, first paragraph. I would have you begin to write down in your soul detox journal, what are some of the bad choices that you feel you have made in your life? What are some of the bad choices that you feel you have made in your life? Not the ones that other people have said you made, not the ones that you've been judged by or criticized by, the ones that really bother you. So in your journal, you're going to come into my office today, you're going to take a seat, and you're going to sit in the best seat in the house. And I'm going to talk to you, and I'm going to minister to you, and I'm going to bring healing to you, and deliverance is going to come over you. And we're going to do this every night for 30 days as we begin to chisel at all the stone that has come around you through life and get back to the heart and the flesh of the matter of who you really are. So for your first assignment from my book, chapter 1, page 9, write down the bad choices you feel you have made in your life, and we'll discuss them together in session. We'll get clarity on were they really bad and what made them bad. And we will help you through healing from the bad choices that you hang over yourself with. The second statement in this first paragraph says also, if you don't deal with your self-esteem, it will cause you to fall into destructive relationships. I will also ask you at this time to go ahead and list any destructive relationships that you have defined from your life. Define them. Define them by name, maybe the length of time spent in them, and what made them destructive. Do I have enough paper for these mistakes? You do, because it's written on the tablet of your heart, and I want to take it out of your heart, and I want to bring it in to recovery. That's why we're here tonight. Ari French is asking, is the book in audio form yet? Not yet, but it is on Amazon, or it can be purchased from my website. And if you are able to hire a mental health coach, we can help you through the book and any matters that you would need help with. We're here to get the job done, Ari. Thank you for asking. So you're listing your bad choices that you believe, no one else. And now you're listing destructive relationships. With whom? Why do you consider them destructive, and how long did they last? And we go into that, and we look for patterns in your life, learned behaviors, what part of you is showing up with the part of your parents that maybe you don't want to bring into your life. We deal with all of that. And then the last part of page 9, first paragraph, I ask you to list all the areas in your life where you believe you have failed to live up to your full potential. Where you have failed to live up to your full potential. I believe that I could have been a successful accountant living in California had I pursued my goals and dreams, had I listened to what my mother said and not fell in love at 14 and had a baby at 16. You know, all the things that we're going to stop with the victim and the sorrow and the sadness that all of these memories bring onto us, because they do it to all of us. We want to help you move forward. Mental health coaching is about forward movement. Therapy is really about digging in to the nuts and bolts of the past. There's a piece of that for mental health coaching, because in order to move forward, we got to move forward from some place where we're not moving at. But we just don't go into it as a psychotherapy angle or a medication angle. So if we decide that there's some deep pathologies concerning you moving forward with your bad choices or destructive relationships or living up to your full potential, we'll recommend therapy to you and a therapist. But if it's something that we can help you with, that's why you hire a mental health coach and you commit to it for at least a year. I have clients that have been with me 3 years and they're not tired and giving up yet. And because they're with me every week or every other week, we work out special pricing with them because they're not once a month. They're doing the work. And we want to be a resource tool to help them get the work done. This is the type of work it is. So you're going to list your bad choices, destructive relationships, and where you feel you have not lived up to your full potential. Come on, exhale. Whew, because I know that's a lot. I know it's a lot. So turning the page now, we're going to go all the way over to page 10. We're still in group therapy, self-esteem, and we're going to just flip the page to page 10. And the first statement that we're going to talk about is self-esteem versus self-concept. What I want to do tonight is to help you find out who you are. And I'm hoping we can answer that in 2 nights. At least a very general form of it. And in 30 days, a very specific form. Self-esteem versus self-concept. How many have their books? Come on, type up on the screen if you have yours. Good. All right. Self-esteem versus self-concept. Self-esteem is not self-concept, although self-esteem may be a part of self-concept. Self-concept is the perception we have of ourselves, your self-conception. Self-concept is the question we ask ourselves. Who am I? See, if you were in your coaching session since last year, this question would have already been answered. Not to make you feel worse, but to make you get on the good foot and commit to this process. Great. I see all the thumbs and the hands and I have mine. Good, good, good. Self-concept is the perception we have of ourselves, our answer when we ask ourselves the question, who am I? It is knowing your own tendencies, thoughts, preferences, habits, hobbies, skills, and even areas of weakness. So when I ask people like, I believe it was Ashley and Gwen and a few others whose names are left in my memory right now, that question really jarred you and troubled you. This is who you are. It is a component. It's no one thing that I'm every woman. It's a component of many things that defines who you are. Biblically, I can tell you tomorrow who you are biblically. But let's deal with the human being, the psychological human being of who you are. It is a component, it is a stew of your tendencies, your thoughts, your preferences, your habits, your hobbies, your skills, and your areas of weakness. Put simply, the awareness of who we are is the concept of our self. So these are going to take some time, but I want to deal with number 1 and number 2 tonight, because again, my goal, if we can get there, is to get you to have some form of statement of who you are. I want it to be the one to introduce you to who you are. So write down some of your tendencies. I have a tendency to judge. I have a tendency to be late. I have a tendency to want to be early. I have a tendency to fear. Write down your tendencies, good, bad, and indifferent. Write them out. No one has to see this but you. Write down, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about yourself? What are your thoughts about the world? What are your thoughts about family? What are your thoughts about church? What are your thoughts about COVID? What do you think about? What you think about is who you are. And then you mix it all together and you come up with you. And I'm going to help you get there. What are the things that you prefer? What are your habits? Good and bad. Don't just look for the bad, and do not just look for the good. What are your skills? If I ask you, what are you good at? Will you be able to answer that? What are your areas of weakness? It is so important to know your weaknesses as well as your strengths. Take your journal pages, write that out. We're in a counseling session. We have all the time in the world. Take the time now and fill in these statements. And you can work on this for 30 days. Just put one on each page. Just put my tendencies on the top of one page, the next page, my thoughts, the next page, my preferences, a whole other page, habits, a whole other page, hobbies, skills, areas of weakness. And don't forget a page for bad choices, destructive relationships, and where I lacked my full potential. Give it room, give it a whole page. You know why? Because you're going to be doing this all year. With or without a coach, you're going to be working on this all year. How old are you? This is how much time you have spent not knowing you. And it's going to take way more than a sheet of notebook, but that's where we're going to begin. All right, number 2. Let me hit number 2 tonight, because this is the important piece right here. This is where in coaching and counseling, it gets deep, it gets real. Self-esteem versus self-image. Self-esteem versus self-image. Another similar term with a different meaning is self-image. Self-image is similar to self-concept in that it is all about how you see yourself. That's why it's all about self, how you see yourself. Instead of being based on reality, however, it can be based on false and inaccurate thoughts about yourself. So many people, oh my God, especially in 2022, if you look on Facebook and Instagram, self-image is lacking and very low in a lot of people. Because our self-image, instead of being based on reality, it can be based on false and inaccurate thoughts about ourselves. That's why plastic surgery and weight surgeries and all these surgeries are making these plastic surgeons and all these doctors sickly rich, because we have a self-image problem. It is causing others to benefit off of low self-image or no self-image. And they're benefiting off of people who, if they love themselves, they would eat better. They wouldn't need surgeries for gastro or whatever else. I'm not going to go into the long haul. There's medical issues behind it all, granted, for people who have to get tucks and lifts and cuts and butts and all that, because they don't love themselves enough to love their flawed self, to know that they were made by a perfect God. And even a vase with a mark on it can be worth more than a vase that came out perfectly. In some aspects of art, it is the flaw that makes it so valuable and worthwhile. But because we are so debased in our self-image, people are making billions and trillions off of us because we don't know who we are. Our self-esteem is in the can, and our self-image doesn't exist. Our self-image may be close to reality or far from it, but it generally is not completely in line with objective reality or with the other ways we perceive ourselves. Now listen, what are we talking about here in number 2? What we're talking about here is called identity formation. Write it down. Identity formation. Looking for a quick fix. That's correct. What we're dealing with in self-esteem, self-concept, self-awareness, self-image, self-worth, self-confidence, self-efficacy, self-compassion is identity formation. Identity formation asks the question, who am I? When you go into a psychiatrist's office or a mental health coach office, or you go in a bookstore and you begin to look up books, who am I? What question is being asked is, what is the things that have formed my identity? Identity formation. So what forms our identity? Identity formation asks the question, who are you? Who are you? That's identity formation. Now, identity formation, which asks the question, who am I, is formed by a collection of our beliefs. We are truly what we believe. We are what we believe. If you believe you're ugly, guess what? You're ugly. Not to us, not to the rest of the world, but to yourself. Because you are what you believe. Your beliefs dictate your thoughts, and your thoughts dictate your actions, and your actions dictate how you show up at life. It comes from your beliefs. If you were told that you were like your mother or that you were like your father, and to you they were awful people, you have a belief inside of you that you are an awful person. And we have to go in and gut that belief out, because that's not a true belief. It's a belief that was passed down to you by broken people. It's a, well, sometimes nobody even said it to you. Let's just say you had you were raised by both parents, and your dad was very abusive towards your mom. And though you love your dad, there's a part of you that has a problem with him because of how he treated your mom. And there's a bigger part of you that has a bigger problem with your mother because she took that abuse and she put you all in that position to watch her be abused by a man. And you're divided in the middle now, because as much as you love your dad, you still have an issue with your dad because of how he treated your mom. But the bottom line always results in you have a bigger issue with mom because she put you in that position to watch it. She put up with this abusive behavior, and you're having trouble adding 1 and 1 up to make 2 with who you are today. So even though you love your father very much, he's very kind, very gentle, and very nice to you, his behavior towards your mom formed your identity. So there is a belief in you, because a part of me came from an abusive man. Somewhere in me, there's an ugly, abusive person. And sometimes I believe you work very, very hard to make sure that person never comes out, but you know they're in there and they know they exist, even if it's not a reality. But it's a belief that you bought into because you were raised by these two people. These are the things that formed your identity. You could have a mother that you loved very much and you honored and you treated well and you treat with such great respect. And your wife or your special person in life, your partner, you treat with such respect and such honor. But your father was abusive or a player or a pimp or was into other crazy lifestyles. There's a part of you that believes, because I'm from him, a part of him must be in me. And there's a part of you that has abused women in your life, even if it wasn't the ones you brought home. because we are who we are by our beliefs. Our thinking comes from our beliefs. How we show up comes from our thoughts. And if you think things that come from a toxic belief system, you're going to show up in a very toxic way. Or you're going to work really, really hard at keeping that side of you buried in, and it's going to make you sick, or it's going to make you lash out at the wrong people, self-sabotage your life. I can go in forever on it. I can go in forever on it. Identity formation. Who are you? I don't know who I am. You do know who you are. It was formed by what you believe about yourself. So how do you help me with this? Let me quickly help you with this. There's a couple of things I want you to do regarding chapter 1 and chapter 2. In chapter 1, if you are a person who writes in books like I do, Renee, go ahead and cry. We're going to pray for you right now. Number 1, I want you to write in the corner pages of the book, identity formation, because you're going to help yourself and you're going to work this down throughout the rest of this year and forevermore, until you get free from the beliefs that you hold about yourself. Your beliefs are worse about yourself than who you really are, because you are loved and you are able to give love. You are able to nurture and to give life and to bring life. You are kind. You are caring. You are trusting. You do matter, but it's your beliefs about yourself that you either learned in childhood through words that were spoken or actions that were perceived. So in the left-hand corner of your book, number 1, self-esteem versus self-concept, I'm going to give you the tip on how to help you with the workbook that I've been working on that's coming out. So those will have a workbook already established through our work. Write down identity formation. That's what we're talking about in question number 1. Identity formation. Who am I? That's your self-concept. Underneath identity formation, I want you to go ahead and write, who am I? Because that is what identity formation is. Identity formation asks the question, who am I? Underneath identity formation, you're going to have written, who am I? Underneath who am I? You're going to have written collection of beliefs. Collection of beliefs. And in your journal, I want you to write down all the things you believe about yourself. All the things. On one side of the page, the good things, and on the other side of that same page, the not so good things. Because when you look at it in black and white or blue and white or red and white, whatever ink you're writing in, that's who you are on paper. You are what you believe. And the parts of that is not good is what you're going to have permission to go into and to get rid of it. Allow the Holy Spirit to minister to it. Get a life coach or a pastor or someone interning in healthcare, in mental health or in ministry to help you get rid of it. You don't have to stay that way. The world is yours. It is open to you. Identity formation. Who are you? Collection of beliefs. Write down the collection of your beliefs. And then this is your homework assignment that I hope you get done tonight, or at least start it tonight. Your homework assignment is to do something that's called mirror me. Mirror me. Remember the nursery rhyme, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Remember that? This lesson has to do in our life coaching session as mirror me. I want you to look in the mirror and I want you to write down, who do you see when you look in the mirror? Now, you're not going to be paying attention too much with these eyes. The mirror is really just a base for you to look at. But I want your eyes to cross over and I want you to let it flow. Who am I? I'm a good person who was treated poorly. I was an abandoned little girl. I want you to get it all out. And if you can, turn the recorder on your phone and record it. And I want you to hear what your soul has held in for information on who you believe you are, because that's the you that we want to eradicate. That's the you that we want to get rid of. Mirror me. We use it in our mental health coaching. Mirror me. And I want you to write down who you see when you look in that mirror. And then guess what the other good side is going to be? I want you to make a list after you're done with that. And I want you to write down your ideal self. I know the tears are flowing. I've been reading it from your emails. I'm praying. I promise we're not going to leave you like this. Remember, do not deal with anxiety more than just this evening. There's a prayer you should pray for yourself if you're feeling the triggers or the anxiety tonight. But if this anxiety carries over into tomorrow, you should contact us. Our phone number and information will be online. Everything's on the website. You can't forget SuzanneMHoward.com and reach out for help. Do not keep anxiety longer than just the evening after the sessions. Very good, Kamisha. Very good. Identity formation. Ask the questions. Who am I? We determine who we are by the collection of beliefs that we hold. Then we're going to get the mirror and we're going to do mirror me. And you're going to write down or audio record everything that you see when you look in that mirror and you're not looking with just a natural eye. And then you're going to make another column and you're going to write a column for your ideal self. Who is it that you don't see in that mirror, but you see in the mirror of your heart, your ideal self? I see myself as this. Try to give a checks and balances. If you see something not good when you do the mirror me assessment, every not so good thing you list, I want you to try on the right side of that list to write down your ideal self to counteract all the negative that you see. Give us a working balance here, a negative and a credit, a negative and a credit. If you need help with that, the coaches are going to be around to help you. But that's the work that I want to give you for tonight, because that's who you are. You are a collection of beliefs. You are what you believe. Remember, they used to tell us on TV, you are what you eat. And those were the physical people. But now we have tonight the psychological people. And if you're going to cry, I need you to understand two things that are important in soul detox, two things that are important in growth. You ready? Two things. If you're going to do this work, I need you to commit this with me. Two things. Just two. Are you ready? I want you to acknowledge your feelings and not dishonor them. That is a disrespect to yourself. Acknowledge your feelings. And then I want you to honor them. Give them a proper burial. That's the least you can do. Acknowledge how I'm feeling. And it doesn't have to be legit. Just give yourself permission to feel. Stop showing up wrong. You're disrespecting yourself every time you don't give yourself permission to do it. And if you're doing it alone or with me or with a coach, guess what? There's no judgment. I'm not here to say, well, that's the wrong feeling. You shouldn't be feeling that because of a thought like that. No, you have a right to feel it. Where we go wrong at is we tuck it or we don't acknowledge it. Acknowledge it. I'm still mad about something from 1984. It's embarrassing to say it in front of the wrong people. That's why you don't make friends and family members your mental health coaches. You don't make friends and family members your therapy sessions. You let your sisters enjoy sistership. You let your friends enjoy friendship. And you bring your mental health issues to a mental health coach or to a therapist. Because one, we're trained to deal with it, and your family and your sisters are not. And two, they don't know how to love you through it. So you end up losing the ship of friends or the ship of sisterhood because now they think they have to be your coaches and have direction and instruction and correction and judgments for you all the time. And you lose the value of the relationship that God has given you. He's given you sisters to enjoy and to love and to be loved. And he's given you parents to be loved and to love, and friends to love and to be loved, and counselors and therapists for the down home gut wrenching work. Separate it. Draw the boundaries, make the lines in the sand. Get a part-time job if you have to. Therapy's worth it. I'm just going to be honest with you. Learn to stop tucking away your feelings because they show up when you eat. Stop tucking away your feelings because they show up in your sexual appetites. Stop tucking away your emotions and your feelings because they show up in your nasty attitudes. Stop tucking away and hiding your emotions and your feelings because they show up in your overspending. They show up in your lying. They show up in your inability to get up. They show up in your stomach issues, in your head issues. They show up. They don't disappear. They don't go away. You were made very beautifully and wonderfully, the Bible says, and your body knows when you lie. You know how sickness comes to us? You know how our immune system gets broken down? Oftentimes by lying, not about sickness. Your body was not made to carry lies. These things affect us. We're spiritual beings having a dirt, flesh, and experience. Sometimes you're sick because you need to repent. Stop tucking them away. Honor them. Honor them. I'm embarrassed that I'm still mad at my relationship from 1984. But until I acknowledge it and then honor it, honor that feeling, then you can make a sound decision and say, you know what? It's petty. I'm just going to let it go now. Or it's petty, but I'm going to talk it out with you so that I can bury it. This stuff doesn't go away on its own. It's going to make you sick. It's going to lose a lot of wonderful opportunities for you. It's going to age you. It's going to give you frail bones if you don't deal with these issues. All this natural life stuff has a spiritual component to it that weighs down on the physical. Stop tucking away the feelings. Let's deal with them. So I've helped you. I've given you some great life coaching tonight from Self-Esteem, Chapter 1, questions 1 and 2. You're going to need to go back and replay to get this work done. You've got a lot of work to do tonight. And for those that are still with Prophet Latanya and still with Pastor Maria in your life coaching sessions, tell them that you need to pick up from here. They know what to do. Tell them you need to finish this work of self-esteem as you also co-combine it with the work of self-awareness, because I am determined to live my best life. I want to be healthy. I want to be happy. I want to stop being not just the result of bad relationships. I want to stop being in destructive relationships. And I want to stop blaming my parents for it. They had 18 years and now I've had everything after 18 years. So we're probably equal. Tomorrow we'll deal with personality. We're far beyond time. We have to go, but we had a lot of office cleanup work when we started. But tomorrow we're going to talk about personality, and that's going to help you put the icing on the cake on who am I? That's the question we ask. All right, let me skim these comments as I let you go, because some of y'all have very early mornings. I am determined to live my best life. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Pastor Val. This is good teaching tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What is the things that formed my identity? Yes. What are your beliefs? Yvonne Ramos, holding on to bitter feeling makes your body sick. You better believe it. Carla says this hit hard. God bless you, Henry Morgan. Tasha Ross said, hashtag replay. I know what I'm doing the rest of the night. Sarana says, thank you, Apostle. Thank you, my dear. Gwendolyn, Siobhan, acknowledge our feelings, honor them, then give them a proper burial. You better believe it, baby. And this is just day 2. Lord have mercy, from Jessica. Replay rocks, says Pastor Dolores Davis. All right, gang, I'm going to put up the instructions and information now. All my detoxers from Prophet Latanya, our coach. Tomorrow, we're going to deal with personality. Darlena says truth can hurt, but honor the truth, not the lie. Pastor Dolores says awesome session tonight. I'm changing for the better. I am coming back. I miss this. Come on, Shannon. Yes, baby. This explains why I feel sick inside. Absolutely does. Yes, bitterness causes cancer. Absolutely correct. Yes, please, please, please go on and hit like. I heard one of the YouTube influencers that I've been entertained with all winter tell the people, if you don't hit like, he said there was like 3,000 people on and he had 85 likes. He says, if you don't hit like, I'm going to play this horrible music until you hit like. And if you don't hit like, then I'm going to get off and not get back on. If I'm going to take the time to at least bring you into a level of prosperity and health and wellness and healing, you can at least hit like. So hit like. Come on and hook me up. I'm hooking y'all up tonight. Hit like. And please, please share this with someone. If you don't want to put it on the front of their social media page, go ahead and tag them in their inbox. Eye-opening, says Elder Manny. Go on and help someone else while you're helping yourself. All right. We're going to get our work done. Information is on the screen. Everything's live up on YouTube. Tomorrow, this will be on Instagram and in all of the places that you can ever find to get your podcast from. We make it so available for you. So let's go ahead and make our 3rd John prophetic proclamation and declaration, and then we'll close out with our So Detox trailer, and we're going home. I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. You can ask any questions to me at info@SuzanneMHoward.com. Any questions about your homework, you have the Solutionist secretaries and coaches email. That is solutioncoaches@gmail.com. Get your assessments in, because we're going to have a personality assessments in about 2 days. And we need to make sure that those who have sent in their assessments are the only ones we're going to be accountable for sticking with you hand in hand through the 30 days. The rest of you can just be in the crowd, but those who really want to get the most that they can out of this free 30 days, get those assessments in so we can build a toolbox on you, a soul box on you, and work with you through the remaining assessments that we're going to do for the rest of these 30 days. All right. God bless you and good night. Grace and peace to be upon you.
Let it